Okay, this is the solution to adding the third loop to the while in-out program. Notice right here, input is the variable being compared for this first while loop that extends down here. Input starts off being blank, so since it's not equal to exit, this loop is going to execute. We will get inside here and start looping. Once we're in, we're going to tell them that we're in that outer loop, and then we're going to parse their input just because this next loop compares numbers. So we need x to be a number. Once you're in this loop, to get out, you obviously, although we probably aren't looking at this, have to enter a negative number to get it to exit. Now, if you go into your program and code this line out, comment that out, and try to run this program and type X, exit, up here, that's going to cause a runtime error. It will crash your program because we're going to take the word exit and parse it right here. We're going to try and take input, excuse me if I said exit before, we're going to try and take input and parse that into X to make it a number. We can't do that with the word input. So that's why this line is key to this program, because it's soliciting input, but it's not trying to parse it. So we can enter exit here and it will quit. If you enter exit here, it will crash just because of this line. So let's add another loop to this. Now, in this case, we're going to have to contrive a loop. So I'm going to add my syntax while. I'm going to add my parentheses. That's where our condition will be. I'm going to add a comment, loop 3, and close that off. Loop 3, just some notes so I can easily glance at these and know what's where. I'm going to try and get these to, oops. Try and get these to line up a little better. I'm going to compile, and I'll probably get an error saying I don't have anything there. That's fine. So we need to put that in. So let's put in something like, copy this, make life easy. And say there's a secret password in there. And I'm not sophisticated, so my password is password. So as long as they don't enter password, we can be in the outermost loop. So let's throw a message here. I'll just copy this whole line. I'll hit enter. And now we're in the third loop. Let's compile. And let's look through this. What might happen? So if I wanted to get out of the third loop and I entered input here, if I typed in password, we would still have to loop through all of this before it could exit. So since password, if we type that in and stored it in input, since that's not equal to exit, we would enter this loop and then be asked another question. And then probably be a number, and that would get us into this loop. So this is kind of in a bad spot. So I might move this down here. Not 100% that'll work, but sometimes you just want to throw items in and test it, see if it works. So I'll move that down here. Compile. It works. So let's run, see if we can get through all these loops. I'm in the outer loop. Okay, so I need to enter a negative number, -1. What, didn't work? I'm in the outer loop. Well, it's greater than 0. Sorry, some of them had, I think in the book it might say negative, or while less than. So I'm just going to make it consistent. I'm in the outer loop. -1, I'm in the inner loop. -1, I'm still in the inner loop. Enter a positive number, I'm back in the outer loop. Type exit to quit. Now I'm in the third loop and I hit OK, and it should loop again, back to where I was. If I hit enter here, it'll probably crash because we were parsing it once again. So I'm going to run through, and now when I get to the third loop, I'm going to type in password, and that should end the program. -1 to the inner. I could have just entered 1 there, or a positive number, and it would have skipped this inner loop. So I'm back in the outer loop. If I type exit, I should get out of that. And if I type password, that's the end.